Loneliness is walking into a room full of people and still feeling alone. It's like I almost use being around people as like a distraction, but every time I was by myself again, it was like that same emptiness. I found that if there was too many people getting in the way of that one friendship that I actually really wanted, I would almost tear everybody else down to make sure that they would continue to be my best friend and I'd continue to be their best friend and nobody could get in the way of that. But it was almost like I'd only let it get so far. They didn't really have a clue of what was actually going on in my life. I just kind of pretended like everything was okay all the time, and I think like I even managed to fool myself sometimes. I just get mad at people. I would just stop answering their texts, or I wouldn't hang out with them as much, or I'd make excuses just because I'd be so angry that people thought they had some sort of right to get to know me more. But I was actually just afraid that they would get to know me and they wouldn't like me. What kind of went through my mind sometimes was like, people don't want to hear about what's wrong in your life. I could see in other people's lives that there was so much hurt and there was so much that they were already going through. I just didn't feel like it was right for me to burden them. Everybody wouldn't really care, so I didn't really tell them. I remember, I think I was in grade 6 at this time. I had a fantastic teacher that year. He gave me an award. It was called the Spirit Award. It was for the person who was just very happy all the time, was very positive, was super helpful, kind of stayed after class to wipe off the chalkboard. He presented it to me in front of the class. As I was walking home, I was just staring at this piece of paper thinking, what a joke. I almost felt more defeated because I didn't realize how much nobody saw what I was hiding. It's crazy how much you can really hide from the world when you want to, but at the same time you wish you didn't have to do that or feel like you had to do that. When I saw just a glimmer of hope that Jesus was out there, but not just that he actually cared, that's what really made a difference for me. Having him in my life was going to change things. I wasn't going to have to keep living the same life over and over. He wants to help me through it. He doesn't want me to stay there. I started to see Jesus, he can handle it. He has really big shoulders, and yeah, he created me, so he knows everything about me. I kind of treated Jesus the same way I treated people when they try to get close to me. It takes so much for me to just admit this stuff out loud that, yeah, today was a hard day. It made me mad because a part of me wanted it so bad. My Creator actually wanted a relationship with me. Where were you here and where were you there and why should I let you in now? And kind of like a who do you think you are type of attitude. It's the same front I've always had to keep people out. It's the tough girl, it's the I don't need anybody. Makes you want to just tear down other people to keep them away from you. But it didn't matter what I did to Jesus, he always came knocking at my door. And if I even just opened a bit, he'd come back and again. So nobody's ever done that for me. It's almost like I'm in recovery or something like that, because I'm starting to recognize the signs of when I'm gonna feel lonely and when it's gonna last. When loneliness comes back and it tries to almost attack who I am now and who I want to be, I really make a point to not shut out Jesus, because that's what loneliness does. It basically attacks the relationship I have with Jesus. Just talking to him and telling him about my day and being like, wow, God, that day sucked majorly. And just admitting it. Now I'm finally starting to recognize those thoughts that pop into my head. The symptoms from that is me staying in my bed, dreading going to work, dreading basically everything I love, I genuinely love. I feel loved and all the lies are cut off and the truth is spoken. If you can relate to anything I've said today, I want you to hold your hands out with me. In your own words, tell Jesus that you're sick of feeling this way. All these ups and downs, being all right one moment and losing it in your mind the next. I cut off this lie that I'm not good enough to know Jesus or to have him know me. No more hiding. No more pushing him away because I'm afraid that he'll reject me. Jesus loves me. Ask him to show you his heart towards you, who he really is. And ask him to show you who he says you are.